Hey everybody, it is I, Chris Marshall of the Payne Street team, and welcome to another edition of Payne Auto Talk. All right, in this edition of Payne Auto Talk, it's going to be a short. It's going to be with little old me. We're going to talk about just a couple of things. Now, the temperatures are starting to drop. Here we are in mid-October, and this year of 2023, we skipped spring. We went right to summer. It's been a barn burner for a while, but guess what? Those temperatures are starting to relax. It's getting cooler, yet the sun is out. It is the valley weather that I always think and dream of when I think of being back home here on the border. So we're going to talk about transitioning into winter driving. All right. First of all, the four things that contact the road of your vehicle are the tires. That's right. Them round things there. They got tread on them. And guess what? Those four things, they do touch the road. So make sure that you got the proper tire pressure. You've got good tread. I know here we've got construction zones in the valley. Sometimes items may drop off of a transport trailer and there's debris out there. So keep in mind to watch out for that. Check your tires every time. Also, I noticed that this happens every now and then. Some folks, they just go get in their car and they turn the key on, and sometimes you're on autopilot, you got things to do, and you drive away. I will say this, thank goodness for the technology that we have on our digital driver information stations, because I was guilty of that recently. And when I turned on the old Payne Street team Ford Expedition, guess what? That little warning came up and says, zero tire pressure. I had a piece of debris in my tire, and it went flat overnight. It was a slow leak. So you do not want to drive around on flat tires or even low tires, but, walk around your vehicle, make sure everything's good to go. And I will say this, if you do happen to encounter a piece of debris, even if it's a piece of wood, we don't know if it has a staple in it or a nail. Hey, it's best to exit safely from the highway or whatever roadway you're from, or on, I should say, and then pull over and check your tires. Make sure you don't have a nail or something sticking out of there. If you do, it is not wise to drive with the tire in that condition. So you would have to do what I did, and that was lower that spare tire and change it out right there, and then get to the closest Payne Auto Group service center in the Rio Grande Valley, and we'll take care of it. So we got the tires there, and what do the tires ride on? Asphalt. That's right, asphalt, the surface, our roadways. Now, in colder weather, guess what? The roads might get a little bit slick, even in dry weather. Even in dry weather. The colder your tires are, they lose grip and they get slick. And if the roads are cold, yes, we do have friction with the tires on the road. So there's a little bit of heat that is created. If you've noticed, if you turn on your tire pressure monitoring system in your vehicle, if it's equipped with that, you'll notice if you're at, let's say, 40 pounds of pressure on a hot day, you start driving on the highway for a few minutes, guess what? Your tires will increase in pressure about 2 or 3 degrees. And that's just, heat making the air inside of your tire expand. But remember, in cold weather, your tires are they're gonna deflate just a little bit, just by a couple of pounds. But by the time you get up to roadway speeds, and depending on how long you're going to be driving, your tires are going to go ahead and warm up. But remember, the colder they are, it's going to get slick out there. So slow down. Also, keep a good, decent interval, or maybe even increase the interval from you to your fellow motorists in front of you, and just to keep your head on a swivel. And also, cold weather, with your tires responding differently, the entire vehicle is going to respond differently. That means it's going to take a little bit longer for you to brake. And so just take it easy as far as your driving habits. All right. No speed demons out there. Also, let your vehicle warm up. When you start up and it's cold outside, that oil in the bottom of your oil pan, it's not very viscous. It's still kind of, not jelly, but it's thick like honey. Think of honey on a cold day. Think of honey on a hot day. That's what the oil is like in the oil pan. So when you start your car, don't just start it and put it in gear and go. Start the car or your truck, fire up your engine and let it sit there and run for at least, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. You'll notice the temperature gauge is coming up. And then, you know that oil is properly circulating through your vehicle. And also, even though it's going to be cooler outside, you still want to have your other fluids checked out too, especially your coolant in your radiator. Yes, we think about that cooling the engine so the engine doesn't overheat. But what do we add to the water in there? We add antifreeze. And what does antifreeze do? It raises the boiling temperature and lowers the freezing temperature. So guess what? Make sure that your coolant system is serviced properly and it's been flushed after a couple of years of use. I say a couple of years. I should say 2 manufacturer specifications. Also, we turn on our heater and AC systems. Yes, we do. It gets colder. Hey, make sure that the defrost is working for both your front windshield and if it's equipped with a rear windshield, make sure that the defroster works on there too. You got to see out. You've got to be able to see out of the glass so you can safely drive. Also, be sure to wipe, not while you're driving, but before you head out, get a clean cloth and get some of your glass cleaner and clean the inside of your windshield. Sometimes we point at something and our fingers touch the inside of the glass. Well, that oil and residue from your fingers, it stays on there. So you want to have the glass clean on the outside and the inside. And of course, on the outside, you can wipe it down beforehand, but make sure your windshield wipers, the blades are, in proper specification. The rubber isn't worn. They're not dragging across there and scratching up the glass. And be sure that your windshield wiper reservoir has the proper fluid in it to both break up any sort of icing that may occur on a very cold day, or make sure it has that stuff in there that gets rid of all the bug juice. That way you're not staring through, Jiminy Cricket's insides, smeared all over your windshield. Also, I know this is a tough one for a lot of folks, or maybe, but I know it's kind of a tough one for me because I am a dude on the go. And that is, be sure to keep your vehicle's interior clean. And that is, as it gets colder, if you're wearing gloves a lot, it's going to be kind of hard to manipulate some of the controls in your vehicle. Some of us, where I would say blessed enough, we have a heated steering wheel. What a miracle of the modern age. I love a heated steering wheel, even in hot weather. I put my hand up there, it's nice and warm, and it just it helps out. I've got a little bit of issue with a tendon in one hand, so guess what? It kind of helps alleviate that. So thank you very much for the wonderful inventor of the heated steering wheel. But make sure you keep your interior clean. And if you're ever in an emergency situation where you're pulling over and checking on that tire or something else in your vehicle, you want to make sure that you have the proper tools for it. And if you're wearing gloves, you want to make sure your vehicle is clean so you're not accidentally dumping some of your stuff from inside the vehicle out on the roadway and then you lose it, especially at night. We all know that. Keep a flashlight. I know we use the flash on our smartphones as a flashlight at night, but keep a flashlight in your car. And I'll say this, I recommend getting a flashlight that has a rechargeable battery to where you don't have to put it on a charging dock. See if you can get the kind of batteries that recharge with a micro USB cable, just like on the older Android smartphones. It's kind of trapezoid shaped. Yeah. Try to get those kind of batteries because, hey, we have our 12-volt accessory receptacle with some people of a certain vintage, us older folks, we called it where the cigarette lighter was, but we plug that little module in there and we can plug in a charging cable for a smartphone or another electronic device. But make sure you have a battery that can be recharged with your standard cell phone hookup, especially with micro USB. That seems to be the most common type. Also, headlights and tail lamps. That's right. You got to wipe those down. If you have some of that hazing happening to your headlamps or your tail lamps, you want to get that checked out. We can help you out with that at Payne Service Centers Valley-wide. Sometimes we get a crack in the headlamp lens and we get moisture in there. Guess what? If your vehicle has a standard incandescent bulb, like a miniature light bulb, guess what? With enough moisture and over time, it's going to cause some corrosion on your contact points, and your bulb may not illuminate. And of course, if John Q or Jane Q Law out there, the popo, whoop whoop, if they see you running around with one headlight or one tail light, guess what? They're going to pull you over and have a talk with you. And there may be a little thing called a citation. So keep those things clean and in proper working order. Also, a recent road trip I was on this past weekend. Animals are moving around on the road and sometimes through the roadways. I will say this, be mindful of what is not just on the road, but what is to the side of the road, especially at night, because there is nothing like a vehicle in front of your friend's vehicle hitting a deer. And then watching a Suburban with a trailer hop up and down because they didn't have a proper interval and at highway speeds, and the deer just, the first vehicle hit, poor thing, it hit it. Second vehicle hit it, and then I was in the right lane. Everything happened in the left lane with the first two vehicles. And then I had a choice to make. So I will say this. If you see debris on the road, I know trying to drive around it is one thing. If your vehicle can clear over it, try to straddle it to where it passes between your wheels. That way you're not swerving too much. You're not taking a very sharp turn at high speeds. That way you maintain control of your vehicle, and also let off the gas. Let off the gas and just coast a little bit. You're already up at speed, but unfortunately, Bambi's mama didn't make it. But and I was in a car that was low to the ground, and I had to straddle it. And of course, as soon as that occurred, us who were traveling, as a pair of vehicles, we called each other and like, okay, how are we doing? Let's pull over. Let's check everything out. And it worked out for the best. Minimal damage. But yeah, sometimes those animals and critters, they are out in the roadways. And in cold weather, guess what? If you've got pets around the house, if it's a dog, it's a cat, sometimes, there's been, raccoons, even taquaches, a possum. Guess what? You come home or wherever you're going to park, and you're going to be there for a while. Remember that engine is warm, and even though it's hot, it starts cooling off. Animals will crawl up into your engine compartment from below the vehicle, from the ground up. So you might want to open up the hood in the morning and make sure that no cats or kittens or raccoons or taquaches or, I don't know. There's UFOs now that are on film, so who knows if ET's in there. Just check it out and make sure that no animals are harmed and it does not harm your vehicle with all those moving components and parts, all right? So make sure you take care of your tires. Remember that it responds differently in cold weather. Check all your fluids, both in the engine, your cooling system. Also, I mentioned, keeping your lights clean, but also if you have a backup camera and a 360-degree camera system, make sure you wipe that down. Usually the 360 cameras, the side cameras are located underneath your rear view mirrors on the outside of your doors. So keep all your optics clean, those camera lenses and your backup camera, if you're going to, but don't just trust that camera. Turn your head, look around, check your blind spot. Oh my goodness. Holy Lord. I know it's like we're in school again, but we get in our mindset in summer driving. All of a sudden, boom, we get a cold front end and we're still kind of in that summer mode. And we got to change our mode of thought and our driving habits, because we want you to be as safe as possible out there. No matter your age or driving experience, we want you to be safe. So if you have any issues at all, if some of these things you can take care of yourself, awesome. If you need help with it, if you want the professionals to handle it, head by any Payne Auto Group service center. From Brownsville to Rio Grande City, we're there to help. We have knowledgeable staff. We have a courteous staff. They are pros, and they can troubleshoot and make sure that you have the proper parts. And yes, we have the talent to help you install said parts to keep you safe on the roadways here in the Valley, across Texas, and the good old U.S. of A. Here we are in mid-October, and that means we're getting into holiday season. And guess what's happening? In the Mid-Valley, just down the street from the mothership in Weslaco, is the city of Mercedes. And there is what? The Rio Grande Valley Livestock Showgrounds. We are 6 months away from stock show time. Oh my goodness me. I can't wait for that big loaded baked potato and that turkey leg and maybe a red velvet I almost said moon pie. Whoa, I was reaching there. No, it's a funnel cake. There we go. Moon pie. Oh, good Lord. But yeah, stock show's coming up in 6 months. But guess what's happening on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from October 26th to October 29th from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the Livestock Showgrounds. It's going to be Terror on Texas Avenue. Dun, dun, dun. That's right. It's going to be the Terror on Texas Avenue Fall Festival and Carnival at the Stock Showgrounds. 26th through the 29th of October, 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. 26th, that first day, is a carnival discount day. So guess what? $15 all you can ride on Thursday, October 26th. Also, free admission on Thursday, the 26th, and Sunday, the 29th. Friday and Saturday, those 2 days, that's free parking. But Friday and Saturday, it's going to be $10 at the gate for each adult, $10 per adult, $5 for kids ages 2 to 12 years old. Kids under 2, they get in for free. Now, what's the big thing that's going on there? Is the haunted house. Oh, yeah. That's going to be open on Friday and Saturday only from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. But Terror on Texas Avenue. Yes, that's right. You heard it correctly. They are going to have a carnival there. There's going to be a carnival, a pumpkin patch, a scarecrow row. There's going to be, I love this, a traditional hayride. Yeehaw. Also, there's going to be the Kitty Spookville. Oh, that's awesome. The kids get to have a little bit of a not really a big scary haunted house, but something they can have some fun with there. But of course, the big haunted house there. Also, the shopping boutique. That's right. So we're going to have some vendors out there to do some shopping to get you in that holiday mood. Also, there's going to be plenty of food. There's going to be music and a whole lot more. Once again, yes, the Terror on Texas Avenue Fall Festival and Carnival going to be at the Rio Grande Valley Livestock Showgrounds, and it's going to be from October 26th to the 29th. That's a Thursday through a Sunday. If you just rewind the podcast, I went over all those little details there. But yes, it's going to be a haunted house, carnival, pumpkin patch, scarecrow row, hay rides, Kitty Spookville, haunted house, shopping, boutique, plenty of food, music, and a whole lot more. The Payne Street team will see you there. Yes, we will. We're going to have us some fun. I believe that it is so fresh to us. My mind is a blank. No, here we go. I call that a micro vacation. We've all been there. It's like we're going along, and all of a sudden it's just, what's that? Got a blank space, baby, and I'll write your name. Who's that? Taylor Swift? Yeah. But yes, the gaming bus. Yes, the Regardless replay. I believe that may be at the Fall Festival. We shall see. That's right. It's a free play video game arcade. We got driving games and stuff. I believe it's going to be there. So stay tuned to Facebook and Instagram with both Payne Auto Group and myself, Payne Street Teams, Chris Marshall. And we'll have some more details on that for the Fall Festival. All righty. Yes, there's going to be music there. I believe it's going to be a DJ music. I don't think there's going to be live bands at Fall Festival. But speaking of bands, as a musician, as a fellow band nerd, don't forget about our media partners with KRGV Channel 5. They've got their band of the week, their marching band of the week going on. And it's a voting thing. You go on X, or it's called X. It used to be Twitter, but go on there on KRGV's X or Twitter page, and you can vote throughout the week. The winners are announced on Wednesday. I know that Pigskin is over, but there's also other competitions going on is it regionals? I'm trying to remember, but our marching bands, and they're doing their thing. And I believe this past week, October the 11th, that was Mission Veterans, the Patriots. You are the band of the week over there. So, hey, get after it. All that brass, all those woodwinds, the percussion. Hey, man, I know how it goes. It's a whole lot of fun. I kind of miss those marching days, but hats off to all of our musicians out there in the public school system. You kids out there that are in 6th grade and you're just starting to blow on the old trombone or, toot on a flute. Hey, we got you. Remember, percussionists, drummers, it's all about the rudiments, baby. It's all about those rudiments. That's right. May your diddles, your paradiddles be awesome. Yes, a little bit of musical stuff going on there. I'm excited. I love it. Bands, you all know what it's like. You got your individual instrument. Y'all are coming together. I'll use the word in concert together, and you're marching. Hey, we love what you do. If you're support your bands out there, check out your local band boosters. If you're on a sports team, you're playing football, volleyball, whatever. Hey, be sure to support your band. I know that they're out there supporting y'all, but support those band nerds. Yeah, we know what it's all about. Yes, we do. But be sure to tune into KRGV on X. That's Twitter. Vote throughout the week. It's announced every Wednesday during the KRGV broadcast in the evening for the band of the week. And once again, thank you very much to our media partner KRGV Channel 5 for helping us support local Valley musical talent. We love y'all for that. Thank you very much. Let's see here. I think that's about it. I said this was a short, and we're just about at the 20-minute mark. But I'll say this. Be careful out there on the roadways. Be kind to your neighbors. Say hello to a stranger, because a stranger is a friend that you just haven't met yet. And also, be careful out there at the carnival. Be courteous to your neighbor, and have some fun. We'll see you there at the Terror on Texas Avenue. Blah, blah, blah. But it's going to be great. A little Dracula reference there for y'all. But I hope y'all are having a good one out there across the Rio Grande Valley, the Lone Star State of Texas, and elsewhere where you can find us here with the Payne Auto Talk podcast. We are on Spotify. We are on Apple Podcast. We are on YouTube. I am Chris Marshall, your host of the Payne Street Team. I am Kaiser Soze. I am everywhere. I am nowhere. You just look for me, and I'll appear. Not in a puff of smoke, but I will definitely appear in that wonderful Ford Expedition, the Payne Street Team Mobile. Oh, yeah. So, y'all have a good one out there. Be careful. Enjoy your time, and we'll be back for another edition of Payne Auto Talk very soon. Once again, I am Chris Marshall of the Payne Street Team, brought to you by Payne Auto Group of Valley-Wide and PayneAutoGroup.com. This has been Payne Auto Talk, where we have what you want, lo que tú quieras, regardless, and we are gone.